I'll go over how to set up your typical collisions in Giants Editor for Farming Simulator 2019. I struggled with this for quite some time, but I finally figured it out and I wanted to share it with everybody since there's not a whole lot on how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up your map.i3d. It might be named something else, but open that up in Giants Editor. Once this is loaded up, you want to scroll down to your info layers, and you should have a tip collision in here. You also want to make sure that you have subtract and add, and you can set your brush type to square or round. And then you select your terrain info layer paint mode. Now, currently, it's backwards. So what it boils down to is you can tip wherever it's not white. So you cannot tip over here, but you can tip here. But this is a field. We don't want to tip in the field. We want to tip outside the fields. So I've got to go in this map and basically redo it. So I can zoom all the way out and we'll start from scratch, where we can see the whole map. This one I believe I have set to 4x or something like that. Okay, now that we got this, we can go back into our info layer paint. I was able to tip in the lake up here on the hill, so we want to reverse it, basically reverse these. So with tip 1, make sure you select it here, because if you select this, it'll look like it's changed, but it's not actually changed. So make sure you do it by the check marks. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our brush size to about 500 to make it a little easier. And then I'm going to make this one round, because why not? And let's remove all this mask. Yeah, this took me a couple days to figure out. I finally figured it out after many trials and errors and lots of research. I did find a post about FS19 that kind of hinted towards this, but it's just not a whole lot out there. Okay, so now you can tip anywhere on the map. I want to limit the fields, so we'll go ahead and bump this back down to 50, and we'll make it square. And we'll turn this off, and then zoom on down in here. On down to this field here, and we want to set this field to not be tippable. So we'll go back to our info layer paint, and bam, it's not going to be perfect. Go just a little outside of it, because why not? So it's basically like painting your farmlands. Fairly simple. Clean it up a little bit. Might want to tip just on the edge of the field or something like that. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. There we go. I also want to set the lake that's on the mountain to not be tippable. We don't want anybody tipping stuff into the lake. And you can do your roads or whatever, however you want, however you would like it done. Alright, so let's open up the info layer. Oh, let's make that round. And let's paint. So this area that's white cannot be tipped on. Let's make it so you can't tip on the house. Kind of get some of that beach sand covered there. And if you wanted to, you could hide the water if you're doing this for the water to see what you're doing, but I'm just going to give it a couple little brush strokes here to make sure I covered everything. And then we can finish that out and then save. Takes a moment to save. Oh, one more thing you want to do before you close this is you want to go into your scripts and then go to your map and create ground collisions map. And kind of watch down here in the console to see if it shows any errors. Now this does take a moment, especially if you have a lot of changes on that info layer. Looks like it's almost done. I think it's done. Yeah, it's done. And then we'll save it again. No errors showing down here. So we're good. We can close this. I've already got this in the mods folder. So all I have to do is open up the game. Oops. He's in here. Farm Manager, Green Mountain, continue. You want to, if you don't have it, I suggest getting easy development controls. That way you can kind of test things out without having to go through a lot of trouble. And hit start. We're in the game. All right, so I should not be able to tip here. So if we open up easy development and we try to tip to ground, let's try wheat. Nothing was done, right? Perfect. Now if we go outside of that zone, I think over here should be safe. Let's try it right here. So wheat, 10,000, bam. Oh, well that didn't turn out right. We'll set another pile over here. But do the same thing? Oh, that's weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. But before I was not able to get any kind of tipping. Let's try purchasing a loader. Buy it. Yes. We'll buy a bucket to dump. Open it. Buy. Yes. Ookie. Back. Back. Let's tab into it. Look up to the bucket. This baby going. And bucket attached. Now I don't own this land, so I shouldn't be able to do too much over here. But I can fill the bucket. Go into here, and then on the tractor, and then you'll see here you can, if you got more than just this bucket, you can slide through and pick which one. And then let's go ahead and try gravel. I've added that to this map, so let's see if we can dump it. Don't have access to the land. All right. And let's go back here. Let's buy the land. Do I have enough money to buy this too? Yes. So I want to make sure. Let's go to the field and make sure that I can't dump in there. A little nice little map I'm working on, testing out some things as you can see. And we should not be able to tip here. But if we go into the grass, we should be able to tip. Look at that. I struggled with this for way too long. I think I probably put a good five to 10 hours into it. Oh, neat. Look at that. You can compact that down. How cool is that? So this would be a way to make roads. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can scoop it up. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I'm excited. Can't believe I struggled with it for as long as I did. Hopefully this video helped some of you guys that are struggling just like I am. There we go. Look at that. Finally able to dig these. I've been trying to dig these for a while. So the goal is with this map, just a rundown, is to basically I'm right now just doing some testing to see what I can and can't do. But I want to be able to have like a power line or a pipeline or something like that that you can dig up and then uh, well, I want it to where you have to cut some trees down to get to it and then clear those trees out and then you can dig up to either put a pipeline or a road or power lines. Haven't quite figured it out yet, but trying to add a little more than just logging. So it'd be kind of logging and construction. Of course, create a sell point where you can haul all this to and get a little money for it. Probably not much for dirt or whatever, but a couple $100 a load or something like that. Something to make it kind of worth it. But yeah, so it looks like everything's working as it should now. Oh, look at that. It's even compacting. This is too cool. So, well, I appreciate you watching. Hope this helped a few people out there, and we'll see y'all later.